Hey guys, Shazam here again, and since you voted for Sasori on Instagram, I decided to make a ninja profile video on him. He doesn't have that many techniques as he only participated in one fight, so this video is gonna be hella short. Or it should be short, but I believe I'll jam some jokes about him for losing to Sakura, making it longer. So Sasori is a member of the village hidden in the sand, nicknamed Sasori of the Red Sand because he covers the sand with his enemy's blood. He's the best known puppet master and he created Kankuro's puppets, so he knows them inside and out. His parents died in the war against Sakumo, Kakashi's father, and he is Chiyo's grandchild. He was born on November 8th, 35 years old at the time of his death. He's 164.1 centimeters tall, or 5 foot 4.5, which is very short and weighs about 47.3 kilograms or 104 pounds. His blood type is AB. He's a puppet, so I don't get it. His favorite and least favorite foods are does not find food necessary. That's just hilarious because it seems he finds blood transfusions relevant. And he would have liked to fight Monzaimon, or however you pronounce his name, who's the first puppet master. He graduated from the academy at the age of 7 and was promoted to Chunin at the age of 8. He cleared a total of 72 missions, 5 D rank, 12 C rank, 16 B rank, 29 A rank, 10 S rank. That's impressive for a missing nin. Now I'll go through the puppets he has real quick before going through the techniques. The Haruku shell is a puppet armor he uses as well as a weapon with his poison tail. That's about it. Next up is the third Kathakali, as Sasori was a talented puppet creator and master, but as soon as he reached the limit of making ordinary puppets, Sasori started turning the dead into puppets. So he settled for the third Kazekage, hailed as the strongest of all Kazekage with his magnet release Kekkei Genkai to control iron sand. And last but not least, the final puppet, himself. Sasori turned himself into a puppet with many abilities like shooting fire or water and can repair himself. He doesn't age, and no matter how many times he's destroyed, he can rebuild himself, but in order to control a puppet, he needs a piece of flesh. So he uses a nucleus with a piece of his living flesh to control the shell that is himself, which he can implant into other puppets, and if it's destroyed, he dies. Now for his techniques. First we have 1000 puppet arms, a C rank short to mid-range offensive attack where Sasori uses a seal on the third Kazekage's puppet's arm to shoot 1000 extra arms loaded with poison that could be cut loose if needed. Next up is Iron Sand Block Attack, an all-range offensive secret technique where Sasori uses huge quantities of amassed and compressed iron sand, creating a large iron weapon heavier and harder than the sand it was formed of. Can be formed into any shape the caster desires. In Sasori's case, he created a conical shaped weapon with a sharp point to be used as a giant spear, or a rectangular block shaped weapon to be used as a hammer, and since it's iron sand, ninja tools are useless. Woo. Next up is Iron Sand Shower, an all-range offensive secret technique where Sasori hardens the iron sand into microscopic grains and launches them into an area. The particles are so fast, making it difficult for the human eyes to track, thus making them difficult to avoid. The caster could also morph them into sharp needles to increase their killing capability. Sasori is also able to use the repellent properties of magnetism to greatly increase the speed of the iron sand, since it's, well, iron. Or he could change their flight after they're launched. The iron sand also contains poison, by the way. Next up is Iron Sand World Order, or Needle Sphere, as it was called in the manga. It's an all-range offensive secret technique where Sasori uses high-density iron particles fused into two masses of opposite magnetic polarities. That was a lot of science. By suddenly increasing the magnetism of the particles, the iron sand is scattered over a wide area, and each particle in that giant mass contains a lethal poison that can kill with a scratch. And even if a person avoids the attack, their movements will be restricted and the Kazekage puppet could make an attack afterwards. This is the attack Sasori used to destroy the whole hideout. Next up is Sand Brainwash, an all-range A-rank assist technique that seals the target's memories by piercing the memory center of the brain with ultra-tiny needles. Releasing the technique causes the needles to disintegrate and restore the target's memories. This technique is used for infiltration and spying purposes and can last long periods of time, but it can be released as Orochimaru did with Kabuto. And finally we have Secret Red Technique, performance of 100 puppets. An all-range S-rank offensive and defensive technique demonstrating a puppet master's talent in the art of puppet mastery that's determined by the number of the puppets they're able to control. The number of fingers humans have was considered the maximum number of controllable puppets, but Sasori exceeded that by directly connecting the nucleus of his body with the puppets. So he uses his will to control them without physical manipulation with his fingers. He uses this technique to manipulate 100 puppets as they were his own hands and feet, eliminating the time lag between the caster's will and the movements of the puppets. Sasori claimed he took down an Asian with this, and then Chiyo just stomped them with 10 puppets and a Sakura, of course. So that's all I could gather, and I couldn't make it longer. I was sure I could fit in more Sakura jokes, but Sasori is just as useless as she is. He doesn't even have that many techniques. So that's it for today. Probably gonna make a Deidara one. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.